Everyone, it is Black Spring with Autumn on your Sunday, and that is December 7th, 2025. Hope you guys are doing well out there. And I know it's the weekend. I'm going to try to get you in here and get you out on this particular piece. But I could not resist because, to a great extent, I think we've been anticipating something from a certain, dare I say, financier slash philanthropist for some time. So I'm here to bring you that. Um, I'm here to bring you that framing, to bring you that report this morning. And I just want to give you guys a few seconds to come in, is what I want to do. Um, I could play some, maybe I could play some tunes in the meantime until you guys actually get in here. But I definitely could not, I cannot bypass this particular opportunity. Like I said, I've always said, and I heard this somewhere else. This wasn't my own. Everything seasons and cycles. Apparently, that's true because we are in. Good morning. Realize. Thank you so much for coming in. Hope you are well. Um, Everything seasons and cycles, and I talk. That's what we talk about on the actual when I do my segment of Echo Insight, and it turns into an echo chamber. I find myself echoing a lot around here because most of these things, whether it's foreign or domestic, it seasons and cycles. In fact, we've talked about how things from the COVID era have seasoned and cycled. That has not changed. And I've even said, in the past, I'd say, well, I think everything, we talked about this even before. Shout out to the class of 2019, COVID-19. Shout out to the class of 2020. You guys, we all witnessed the gradualistic installation of what we see right now. What we're seeing right now is actually, to me, everything from 2019 to the present was set in place for a time such as now. And now the timeline is still 2030 is still a timeline point. So, not a whole lot has changed. It's just that it's, dare I say, the mask has come off. Either the mask fell off or it's coming off. It's come off. Okay. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you what this liner is about. This particular liner I'm bringing to you this morning comes from Zero Hedge. And, I entitled this, Guess Who's Back? And it's Bill Gates, and he's got an actual documented piece from the World Health Organization regarding what the plan is. I mean, this is going to affect everyone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the actual Zero Hedge piece, but then I'm probably going to post a link for the actual bulletin. This bulletin was published in October of 2025. Okay. There's also, of course, there's all kinds of sightings. I think at least an APA or an MLA style citing of the sources. So the sources are here for, if you're a naysayer, if you're a denier, whatever you want to call it, you can always go back to that and see it for yourself. Okay. Because I always tell you guys, do your own research responsibly, and check out your sources. All right. So hope you're well. Realize. So let's get started here, shall we? All right. So according to this, Zero Hedge, who hyphen Gates unveils blueprint for global digital ID, AI driven surveillance, and lifelong vaccine tracking for everyone. Okay, so get that. So all of us CTs from back in 2025, 2020, class of 19, class of 2020, we're smelling like a rose right now. Whatever flavor of rose you want it to be. We have maybe a camellia or carnate, whatever you think. Okay. Okay, according to this, in a document published in the October Bulletin of the World Health Organization and funded by Gates Foundation, the World Health Organization is proposing a globally interoperable digital identity infrastructure that permanently tracks every individual's vaccination status from birth. Okay? You know, dystopian, 1984, whatever you want to call it, wherever you want to go with that. Okay, so it says the dystopian proposal raises far more than privacy and autonomy concerns. It establishes the architecture for government overreach, cross domain profiling, AI driven behavioral targeting, conditional access to services, and a globally interoperable surveillance grid tracking individuals. Okay, so we're gonna keep going with that and see. And we're not going to do. We're going to bring it back home. We're going to bring it back home for these, for the dialectic lovers. So here we go. It also creates unprecedented risk in data security, accountability, and mission creep, enabling a digital control system that reaches into every sector of life. The proposed system integrates personally identifiable information with socioeconomic data such as, quote, household income, ethnicity, and religion, deploys artificial intelligence for identifying and targeting the unreached, and, quote, combating misinformation. And enables governments to use vaccination records as prerequisites for education, travel, and other services. Okay, so this piece is going to be entitled Digital Transformation and the Immunization Agenda 2030. Okay, so I'll get back to that. Yeah, I just want to stick with the article for now. It's a 2-page bulletin, but I'll give you a couple of pieces. There's a section 8, I think, where it refers to, and I don't mean, this is the section 8 from the World Health Organization's bulletin. It talks about social media and misinformation, okay, and the tracking on that, okay. So we'll keep going. All right, and don't forget you have your references that will be attached to that. So hold on one second here. All right, so this is what the WHO document admits, in their own words, to establish the framework. The authors define the program as nothing less than a restructuring of how governments govern. Quote, digital transformation is the intentional, systemic implementation of integrated digital applications that change how governments plan, execute, measure, and monitor programs. Okay, they openly state the purpose. Quote, this transformation can accelerate progress towards the Immunization Agenda 2030, which aims to ensure that everyone, everywhere, at every age, fully benefits from vaccines, end quote. This is a context for every policy recommendation that follows a global vaccination compliance system digitally enforced. So that this is broken down in about eight systems, it's about an 8-piece framework. Okay, so one, it says the birth registered digital identity and lifelong tracking. So it says the document describes a system in which a newborn is automatically added to a national digital vaccine tracking registry the moment their birth is recorded. Quote, when birth notification triggers the setup of a personal digital immunization record, health workers know who to vaccinate before the child's first contact with services, end quote. Now, now this kind of gets into, I'm sorry to interject here, but see, to me, this thinks about we've already been set up, that we've already got this mentality that we're going to be governed, okay, down from the birth certificate, you're already recorded. Okay, you're already represented. We're already represented with the the U.S. birth certificate. Then you add the social security number. So this is a swipe to me that's going to cover all of that. But you've already been conditioned that you should be represented on paper by these some odd 500 people in Congress, and now here comes your digital identity. All right, here we go. They specify that this digital identity contains personal identifiers. Quote, a newborn whose electronic immunization record is populated with personally identifiable information benefits because health workers can retrieve their records through unique identifiers or demographic details, generate lists of unvaccinated children, and remind parents to bring them for vaccination, end quote. This is automated cradle to grave traceability. With a national electronic immunization record, a child can be followed up anywhere within the country and referred electronically from one health facility to another. This is mobility tracking tied to medical compliance. Okay, so the second pillar is linking vaccine records to income, ethnicity, religion, and social programs. The document explicitly endorses merging vaccine status with socioeconomic data. Okay. Did we not test run that with COVID? You guys remember going into, let's throw it out. Let's say I remember going to the local Applebee's. Guys, thank you for coming in, loving on the like button. Please love on the like button, okay? I'm not giving you a sympathy card here, but I'm just saying that this channel is not going to reach the masses, okay? It's not. And that's part and parcel to the AI god, okay? That's what we're up. I was up against it 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I'm up against it right now. So if you're looking to do a good deed, if you do a good deed, touch it and walk away. Whatever you want to do. If I take 5 minutes, if I get 5 seconds of your ear, give me 1 second and push and hit that like button. Okay. All right. For the cause. We'll just call it for the cause. All right. The document explicitly endorses merging vaccine status with socioeconomic data. Quote, registers that record household asset data for social protection programs enable monitoring of vaccination coverage by socioeconomic status, such as household income, ethnicity, and religion. This is demographic stratification attached to a compliance database. 3, conditioning access to schooling, travel, and services on digital vaccine proof. Did we not go through that? Do you guys remember? I think, was it France, or I think Bevelyn Beatty or somebody was talking about the way they were treated or the things that they went through if they didn't have the pass at the time. You guys remember the pass? Whether you got one or not. I mean, come on. We're not convicted, you might be convicted on here, but it's not by my word. It should be by something higher than my word. But I'm just by the truth. A lot of people are convicted by the truth, convicted by the past, or convicted by choices, or convicted by guilt. So, pick which one you want. But please, thank you guys so much for coming in and loving on the like button on your Sunday. I appreciate it. I appreciate the consideration. All right, so let's keep going. So 3, the conditioning access to schooling, travel, and services on digital vaccine proof. The WHO acknowledges and encourages systems that require vaccine passes for core civil functions. Quote, some countries require proof of vaccination for children to access daycare and education, and evidence of their vaccination is often required for international travel, end quote. Then they underline why digital formats are preferred. They say digital records, quote, digital records and certificates are traceable and shareable, end quote. Digital traceability means enforceability. So there you go, guys. And I don't know if you guys know, like I said, this is a seasoning and cycle, but they're putting it on paper now. I know the US and Trump and the WHO back then. I don't know, but to me, you cannot convince me that when you have a boss's table and Trump is sitting at the head of it, that he's not co-signing any of this. You cannot, because Gates was there along with all the other oligarchs, or all the other highfalutin or rich people, that elite class of people that were sitting around that table. They know. Okay. The authors describe a key rationale. Quote, children's vaccination status is not checked during campaigns, a practice that wastes vaccine on already immune children and exposes them to risk of adverse events, end quote. Their solution is automated verification to maximize vaccination throughout. The digital system is positioned as both a logical enhancer and a compliance enforcer. Quote, national electronic immunization records could transform how measles campaigns and supplementary immunization activities are conducted by enabling on-site confirmation of vaccination status, end quote. And 5, AI systems to target individuals, identify, quote, unreached, and combat misinformation. So I guess this is where content creators come in, okay? Misinformation, they talked about the guardrails and how they wanted to put, the WEF had their own spokespeople on it back then, okay? So thank you guys so much for loving on the like button. It says, the WHO document openly promotes artificial intelligence to shape public behavior. Quote, AI demonstrates its utility in identifying and targeting the unreached, identifying critical service bottlenecks, combating misinformation, and optimizing task management. All right. They explain additional planned uses. Quote, additional strategic applications include analyzing population level data, predicting service needs and spread of disease, identifying barriers to immunization, and enhancing nutrition and health status assessments via mobile technology, end quote. This is predictive analytics paired with influence operations. Six, global interoperability standards for international data exchange. The authors call for a unified international data standard. Quote, recognize fast healthcare interoperability resources as the global standard for exchange of health data. Translated, vaccine linked personal identity data must be globally shareable. They describe the need for digital public infrastructure. Quote, digital public infrastructure is a foundation and is a catalyst for the digital transformation of primary healthcare. This is the architecture of global vaccination compliance network. All right, so I'm almost done here, guys. The WHO outlines a surveillance model that activates whenever a child interacts with any health or community service. Quote, the CHWs who identify children during home visits and other community activities can refer them for vaccination through an electronic immunization registry or electronic child health record, end quote. This means non-clinical community actors participating in vaccination compliance identification. The authors also describe cross-service integration, quote, under, get this. You guys remember our status, what's that, my little video, the Z22? You guys better get your status up. Remember your status, figure it out. Maybe I'll play that. I have to go in studio to do that. Since the authors also describe cross-service integration, quote, under-vaccinated children can be reached when CHWs and facility-based providers providing other services collaborate and communicate around individual children in the same electronic health records, child health records. Every point of contact becomes a checkpoint. You guys see, once you get wrapped into this thing, it's like the system that we're in already. Social media has already got you. You're already in a web. You've got spores all over the place to connect you, to bring you right back to where you can be exposed to information and information can be drawn on about you. Number 8, behavior shaping through alerts, reminders, and social monitoring. Here it comes. The WHO endorses using, yes, I'm very familiar with Mr. Tedros. Yeah, he was a big player back then. Let's see, I'm not sure who if he's still in the same seat or not. Hi, Marcy. Thank you so much for coming in. Eric Chenot's here. I didn't, my eyes are just, okay, I'm almost to the end here. The WHO endorses using digital messaging to overcome, quote, intention action gaps, end quote. Thank you guys for loving on the like button. Like I said, this stream is not going to reach the masses, okay? And that's by, that AI God is not going to let it happen. It's a barrier, okay? Quote, direct communication with parents in the form of alerts, reminders, and information helps overcome the intention action gap. They also prescribe digital surveillance of public sentiment. Quote, active detention and response to misinformation in social media build trust and demand, end quote. This is official justification for monitoring and countering speech. At the number 9, the last pillar here, acknowledgement of global donor control, including Gates Foundation. This is funded by Gates, the Gates Foundation, as well as Gavi. Okay, there's a 2030 child immunization, global immunization program, immunization agenda 2030. This stuff is in place. Okay, look it up for yourselves. I'm going to put the link in the description for you. Is what I'm going to do. Okay, at the very end of the article, the financial architect is stated plainly, quote, this work was supported by the Gates Foundation, and it gives you the number attached to that. Okay, NV-016137. This confirms the alignment with Gates-backed global ID and vaccine registry initiatives operating through Gavi, the World Bank, UNICEF, and WHO. Well, to me, the only thing is they're putting a name on the financier and the philanthropist here, because his intentions have always been clear. He stated at that dinner with Trump that the U.S. has the seeds of research, because he's targeting sickle cell, and HIV. Okay, but he's backing it. He's backing it. Okay. So the bottom line, according to this, in the WHO's own words, quote, digital transformation is a unique opportunity to address many longstanding challenges in immunization. And now is the time for bold new approaches. And, quote, stakeholders should embrace digital transformation as an enabler for achieving the ambitious immunization agenda 2030 goals. Okay, so it's not speculative, but written in plain language, funded by the Gates Foundation and published in the World Health Organization's own journal. So I've got that journal for you, the bulletin. You want the whole thing, Zero Hedge kind of fleshed it out. If you want to get into the nuts and bolts, the weeds, and you can do that, but it's definitely there. Okay. So he's got all kinds of agendas. Okay. If you all kinds of agendas. But in the past, he also funded hit with some of his international connections out of India. They had the visa. Um, there was a visa vaccination passport initiative that he had back in 2019. And those of you there, go back into the archives. We covered that. We covered that 5 years ago. And a lot of us got dinged back in the day for talking about this. Gavi was MasterCard, I believe. Gavi, MasterCard. I mean, here it is. It was the video trust stamp. I'm going to take you back to the archives just for a second myself. Okay, it was a video trust stamp. This was back in July 21 of 2020. Okay. So apparently the MasterCard Wellness Pass premiered in low-income communities, because it's all about the work we're going to do. Low-income communities of West Africa this week, courtesy of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Rockefeller Foundation. Okay. According to that profile by MasterCard, the trust stamp uses biometrics to verify your identity without revealing any information. Now, that was the time. Okay, but here I'm really want to take you through all of that. You need to do yourself a favor. If you're hanging out on this channel, go in the archives and see it for yourself. I think that was brought to us by the TNA, the New American published it. So that this has been the goal all along. The trust stamp, .ai. Yeah, it's still there. It's active right now. You want to go on right now, you can see it, truststamp.ai, privacy first, identity company, secure, private, and trusted identity. Establishing trust in a digitally connected world. Folks, I'm trying to, as a friend of mine says, I'm trying to tell you, it's real. Yeah, don't be shut down by people calling you a conspiracy theorist. That's what I'm just saying. Don't be shut down. Okay, just don't do it for your own preservation. Don't do it. Don't let these people lie to you, because I think we've been conditioned to do that. But like I said, Gates made his intentions clear. Let me find that lovely little morsel of a video for you guys. I think I've shared it. I don't think I shared it. Let's find a little morsel of Gates talking about what he wants to do. He's got multiple missions. Let me read some comments. Hello. Let me say hi to everybody in here. Realize. Thank you so much for coming in. Eric Chanot 3628. Marcy T. Thank you guys for loving on that like button. The love is needed around here. It says Scott Petrie 7630. He says, I was vaccine injured from a flu jab in 1991. I certainly wasn't going to risk a new. Somebody's cooking this morning. Cook. Thank you for that. I appreciate you for sharing that. I'm sorry to hear that was the outcome. But it just goes to show, they don't really care about, we can go into the whole agenda. It talks about that, they're going to be able to monitor the population with this digital ID, with via AI, creating the global digital ID and AI driven surveillance. Okay. So like I said, let me find this video really quickly. It won't take long. I appreciate you guys for coming out on your Sunday and loving on the like button. It's greatly appreciated. I appreciate you guys for listening to me misinformation. Here, I'm going to tell you. Being a content creator, I said, I acknowledge this, you have a responsibility to frame. That's my responsibility to frame the frame, but to do it responsibly. I acknowledge that. But for those that just come out here because they're towing the line for the left dialectic or the right dialectic, it's profitable for them. I'm a measly little creator here, but yet I will never reach the masses. Let's see. Eric Chanot 3628 says the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is about 6 months. There you go. I love it. Loving the data. Loving the data. Yikes. Thank you, Marcy T, for taking care of that. Ay. Somebody is we got the flying monkeys this morning. All right. Shut them down. Shut them down. That's what we do. All right, let me get that video up. I just want you to hear. I'm not going to give you the life. I'm not going to give you the whole spill. Let's see. We're not checking. Hold on 1 second. So I want to share with you the tech dinner. It's a tech dinner clip is what I'm pulling together for you. Hi, Realize, she says, my mom told me this at 14 years old. When the government comes to you and try to give you something, quote, don't take it, end quote. Let's not forget the Tuskegee experiment and Henrietta Lacks. There you go. There you go. Thank you guys for loving on the like button. You guys are making the difference. Hallelujah. Thank you. I appreciate you for sharing that. Let's see. Okay, so let me go ahead and get Mr. I just want to hear from Mr. Gates himself on here. Because he says it clearly, he's not messing around, okay? Okay, so Bill Gates here. I'm going to bring it to you. All right, so here it comes. Okay, I might put it on here. He discusses working on, see? And this is why I tell all these lovers of the dialectic, Trump is very aware of all of this. So he's got to be co-signed. What is it they say? Knowing is how many tenths of the law? But if you're above the law, then what is it? What does it mean? What is the value? Okay, give me just a second. I almost got it for you right here. I think he's going to do about a 2-minute spiel. And let's see. I think I've heard it that he's kind of got some background that could be exposed as well. Coming to, let's see. Hang on 1 second. Thank you guys for loving on the like button. I appreciate you guys. Everything counts around here. I'm not asking for donations. I'm not asking for any of that. I'm just saying, touch and go. You touch, you go, or you stay. If it's worth your time, really amazing hang around. Bill, would you like to say? Okay, so here it comes. All right, are you guys ready? Now, this is coming from the full remarks that Bill Gates discusses working with Trump on global health vaccines at a tech CEO dinner. Okay, here we go. But see, this is the thing. This is the lie. They want you to believe that these things only occur when so-and-so was in office. No, what's going to be in place has to put what's going to be in place for 2030 has to be laid down and gradualistically occurring right now. They can't just drop it all on you at one time. They got to lay it down now. He laid down some things back during the last term. All right, so here we go. I'm going to turn the volume up and get it going here. This is yours truly.
Well, in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing. And the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is that we want a doctor for everyone in Africa through AI. We want farmers to have incredible advice, and kids to have a chance to learn. So the work being done by the people at this table is changing the world. It's coming fast, so it's great. We all get together and talk about how the U.S. can lead in this key area and apply it even to the poorest outside the U.S. as well as to our great citizens. So thank you for incredible leadership, including getting this group together.
Thank you, Bill. That was very nice.
Okay. But this is, so there you just heard it from him. He talked about basically when they had that dinner together, it was to me it was equivalent to a kind of a tech Davos, okay? Kind of a tech Davos. So we're on the heels of, we're on the brink of a Davos 2026 in January. So I'm going to be bringing you what I can bring you on that, because that's what I've been doing around here. And those of you that are new to the channel, let me say this. Welcome to the channel. I encourage you to go back into the archives. I just shared a little bit with you on the MasterCard Gavi piece that Gates was a part of back in 2020. Nothing has changed. The agenda is still going forward, whether it's gradualistic or not. Let me say hi to some people that are in here. Latresta Montgomery, 7932. Thank you so much for coming in. Helena's MR 777. I say 777. Let's see. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for loving on that like button. Like I said, this channel is not going to reach the masses. I'm not crying. I'm not whining. I'm just giving it to you straight. Because the AI God that these people keep talking about. And see, to me, I want you to also realize, thank you guys for loving on the like button. If you really want to throw some caution to the wind, I tell you to share these things out. I'm going to tell you, essentially, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that AI is going to be the third branch. It's going to be the third party in the U.S. when it comes to the elections and the voting and the dialectic. That's your third party. You got it purple and blue already. And now you've got the AI in the middle, which is said, there's no discrimination. They're going to eliminate all. It's all going to be, AI, it doesn't discriminate, because it doesn't have a gender. It doesn't have a denomination, a religious creed or color. So you're fine. The world's now equal. It's now unified. Now, I've read enough dystopian pieces to, this is all many people have written about, dare I say, futurism or dystopian societies. And were those people prophetic? No, they knew these things were out there then. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Pearson, who's been writing about the New World Order since the 80s. I believe he said he'd been writing about it for years and published. So I think he's credible on that. And you're not going to get on the big screen revealing these things. You're not. Do I want to be on the big screen? Not so much. I just want you to think for yourself, okay? And don't let people lie to you, because enough lies have been told. Okay? Let me back it up. So we got Owen Guichard. Owen Guichard. I don't know. I don't want to get that wrong. This is, why is Africa always the place they have to use this vaccine? What happened to Europe? There you go. See? There you go. Ami TIJ. I'm going to catch it up. Oh my gosh. Realize says the seed of Cain, they all are. Yes, Fresh Out Pearson is on point. And yes, it's been early as the 70s. Let's see. Let's go back. I'm gonna make sure I say hi to everybody. Thank you guys. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for coming in and for lending me your ear. Like I said, this is, my channel has always been, I've always tried to promote education. Back it up. Back it up. You got to back up back it up. Vet your sources. Try to get as many primary sources as you can. A lot of times we get things that are already framed, but go to the source. Like I just gave you, for instance, I'm gonna probably drop some links in here. I've been cross-referencing the Gavi, the MasterCard, the trust stamp that he had back in 2019. God knows how that has evolved. So truststamp.ai, privacy first identity company, secure, private, trusted identity. So but we're already groomed to think that we could be represented first by our birth certificates, by our social security numbers, then by our secondly by representatives in Congress. Over 500 of them. You really believe you can be represented. And now they think they're going to get you represented by this digital AI, this biometric situation. So there's tons of companies out here. The people at that table, the people at that tech table, back 3 months ago, yeah, those are your stakeholders, folks. Let me bump this thing back just so you know. I don't have anything to gain here.
Need new science on that.
Okay, just a little
gene
bit.
editing and
Did you see? He said gene editing.
Because AI's so multiply.
So
giving away.
Here we go.
Well, in the second phase of my career, giving away
see
all
how
the wonderful money that
his
Satya's good
computer
work
and his money is
multiply a lot. But I think the thing that
driven
ties,
his career in a field he has no
that I
training
still
in,
spend
which
some
is health.
time on because AI's so phenomenal. And my second career is innovation, innovating in health, in areas like vaccines or gene editing. And the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases.
Did you hear that?
He mentioned polio.
Oh my gosh, I missed that just for a second. Did you say he said the president and I are talking about it?
For some like HIV.
Did you guys hear that? Did you hear he said the president and I are talking about it? So where was RFK? Yeah, you see how this stuff doesn't jive? Do you see? I'm just saying, let me bump this back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Let me just bump this back. Bump it back to where he says, the president and I are working. Here you go.
Because AI is so phenomenal. And my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing. And the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds.
You see that? U.S. does have the seeds. The president and I are working on taking it to the next level. We need new science, just like Warp Speed. He mentioned polio. He mentioned HIV. He mentioned sickle cell. Hey, yeah, like I said, that's not my voice. That's not AI. That was their tech dinner. Okay, that was their tech dinner. He told you. He told you that he and the president are working together. Let me read Marcy's comment. She says, do you see how they double speak all the time as to trick us? But we can see through this now. Thank you, Jesus, for eyes to see and ears to hear. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm saying. That table, I knew that was 3 months ago, September the 4th, 2025. Just 3 months ago. So let me just read this back. Scott Petrie, 7630 says, global excess deaths have been much higher than normal since the vax rollout at a higher rate, especially in countries that had higher rates of vax. Yep, there you go. Scott Petrie, 7630. If you guys are new to the channel, I thank you so much. And this is Ami, TIJG, hi from the UK. Hello, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. You know, the scale of this is an older phone that I'm on right now. So everything, I'm like, I mean, I'm just the only time I could be larger than life is right here, right now. So let's see. Marcy says, because it's the cradle of civilization. Africa is, yes, that's why they keep going there. Yeah, but I'm just telling you that the Gavi MasterCard was the partnership that he had in 2019, 2020 during COVID. And that was West Africa. Like these people they go camp out in Africa. That's what they love to do these things. Okay. But here again, let's go ahead and tie it together. Who statistically, who does sickle cell anemia HIV affect the most? Just saying, if we go with the statistics, who's affected by that? I'm just saying. Yes, Marcy T. She says, well, seeing how you made all the diseases, it's easy to cure them now, isn't it? There you go. There you go. Yes, she said it. African Americans. African Americans are affected by sickle cell anemia as well as HIV. Okay. But he's already camped out in West Africa. And this is they've got this. Here's another site. I mean, gosh, if I give you, when you guys get this bulletin, you'll see the references. There are tons of references that are cited either APA or MLA style that tell you where every piece of this article came from. So I think Zero Hedge, short of giving you that whole bland verbatim document, they gave you the document as well. You can see the document as well as they've got it. They fleshed it out. They gave you the 8, and that's what I would have done. I don't write articles typically or anything, but I would have fleshed it out too. I would have pulled out the important points and then tied those points to, of course, give you the claim, pull out those, pull out your evidence, or pull out your event and your evidence and tie it back to the point. Put those 8 points in there and tie it back. That was easy, no brainer, right? So I think that was a responsible, pretty responsible. And then it gave you the references. Every link that you touch on, and when I give you this, is going to tell you. Eric Chanot, hang on just a second. Eric Chanot says, thank you guys for loving on the like button. Thank you for that. Says, let's not forget about Dr. Fauci. You see how, I'm wondering when is he going to enter the scene again? And I'm wondering when is Trump going to pardon Bill Gates? Now that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on that. Is that going to happen? Because Gates' name is on a global wanted list, allegedly. Okay? The Italian government is not happy with him. I probably pulled that one up too. See, the mind is so fickle. There's so much stuff. There's so much misinformation and doublespeak. I think there's so much doublespeak out there that it's hard to realize, and there's also AI. We don't know what we're looking at a lot of times. So hang on one second here. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Okay, so Bill Gates. Yeah, I think there was a lawsuit. Okay, so here again, according to this, this was Reuters back in 2020. They said allegedly that the Italian government had not called for Bill Gates' arrest. Okay, because I think if there was something out there at the time, so that the call for Bill Gates to be arrested was the opinion of Sarah Cuneo, the independent member of the parliament in Italy. So, but it doesn't mean that he's not. Doesn't mean he hasn't been implicated in anything. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that people that they don't think that somebody thinks they've got something somewhere. Since they say Mother Teresa is Fauci's son, not who people think she is. Wow. That's interesting. Thank you, realize. Thank you so much. And then Eric Chanot says, let's not forget about Dr. Fauci. Yeah, of course. Absolutely not. We can't. Because what was it? Tedros Adhanom, WHO at the time. You had Gates. You had Gavi. You had his friends with MasterCard. Those are big time stakeholders. And when you bring them when you bring the American ones to the table, and you still have people carrying on with their undying, with their religious, their idolization of this man, and it's a mess. It's just it's as my late grandma would say, it's nothing but a mess. Okay, and they're all going to be in it. We'll suffer because of these morons that go out here and pull a lever for somebody, all in the name of, you know, of their patriotism and and it's because it's prosperous. It's more, prosperous for them to go along with it. Okay, so yeah, that was a West. You guys remember that trust stamp was the one that it was the vaccine that you could. I think that you just kind of put it on the arm. I had a video on that. Please go back into the archives, friends. I mean, you. That's what I'm saying. I feel like we are. I feel like it's an echo chamber. If we think about it, we're all in an echo chamber because none of this stuff is brand new. It's just what was allowed. What could we release? What could be released at the time? It's like the same. We're going the same road. It's going to take us to the same place. Let's see. Marcy T says cannibals. Yes, absolutely. Let me just see. Okay, I think there was a trust stamp co-founder, Gareth. Yeah, all these people they're still around. Or Jenner, Gareth Jenner. Okay, so yeah, there you have that. But yeah, I just wanted you to know that that this is going on. They're not going away. They're just ramping it up. They're putting it on paper. They're saying, hey, this is. But then why would America? This is the thing. Think about it. Why would Trump rebel against the WHO? As they say, why would he go so hard against the WHO back then, only to invite Gates to a dinner table 6 years, almost 5 years later, over 5 years later, and have Gates say, oh, the president and I are working together. The U.S. has the seeds of research. I'm saying, make that, bring it. Let's see. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning into this segment of Black Spring with Autumn and for burning a whopping 47 minutes and 13 seconds. Let's see. Marcy T. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to see that Trump knows what's coming. Okay? He knows what's coming digitally. He is co-signed with it. He's co-signed with it. This guy just talked about Operation Warp Speed. He talked about we had the seeds of research. So he's saying, yeah, they're looking to do something. I'm telling you, especially if they get this global digital ID, they'll have access to all your medical records. They'll also be probably linking your relatives, your family members they will be probably you'll just end up being a freaking lab rat. I remember, I talk about this all the time. I did, and this is another piece I did. Send the mouse to college. That was a campaign back in the 80s in which, you'd have this button pin, this campaign about send the mouse to college, American Cancer Society. But what does the American Cancer Society have to say right now? I'm just saying, don't we have more cancer cases than ever before? Just asking. I'm just saying that's not my domain, but I'm telling you that we do have a lot of cases of cancer. So what did they do with all that money and all that research? What they do with it? Just so they could turn it all, they saved up all the money, or they spent it all just so they could turn it over to mad scientists like Gates? Is that what they did with all that money? All that research that they were doing? Jeez, oh pizza. All right, guys. So I'm not going to keep it too much long. Eric Chinook says, check out the NCI engineered reality scoring system, y'all. Let me type that in for a second before we get going. All right, guys. I appreciate it because, sometimes it takes, we're going to take a little bit of time to upload your stream. Like, come on. My stream is, you send a man to the moon, but you can't upload a measly little belt, stream. Come on. Oh, oh my gosh. It's like, what in the world? I mean, how stupid do they think we are? I mean, yeah, like, are we, do they think we're really naive or we're just really stupid? Which one? Somebody help me out. I'm just trying to figure it out. Just trying to figure it out. Let's see. Marcy says, and I've never seen a more conceited leader. Gotcha. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So let's see. Okay, so I see NCI Internet Reality Scoring System. I will certainly get into this, but I had to share that piece with you guys. I'm going to probably drop the link in there so you can see the bulletin for yourself and see the references and see at the bottom it says that, the financial part, your financier, your philanthropist is coming from yours truly, Gates. Okay. This is the WHO, the World Health Organization, Global Immunization Agenda 2030. So this is an agenda for everything. Okay. Realize says they do it all so the prophecy can be fulfilled to give their power to the beast and the beast system. Wow. Thank you so much, Realize. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I have more. I still have to finish keep reading your document. Realize that's eye opening. But I mean, I'm just, I don't think anything just manifests out of nowhere. I don't. I don't believe in coincidences anymore. I don't. But I appreciate you guys so much for being here and for loving on the like button. Marcy T says they don't even need money. They're just lying about money. The money system is for us plebes. There you go. Look at you, Marcy T, wrapping us up. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and for loving on the like button. We were in. You guys drop your links, your content creator, or even if you just want people to come and check out what you do, or if you're not sure if you want to be a content creator, go ahead and drop your links and come back anytime that you like. And people can come out. People can go whenever they like. And if you decide if you don't even know if you want to be a content creator, go ahead and drop it. But there's a piece in there for social media and for misinformation and disinformation. They created guardrails back in 2020. So I just think we better be more prepared for the next one. I think we better be. Old Head Deuce 2022. Thank you so much for coming in. I hope you loved on our like button on this Sunday. I hope you got a chance to do that. I appreciate it. And that's it for everyone. I hope you took the opportunity to love on the like button wherever you can. It makes a difference, because I'm saying this is probably the third time I've said it before. This will be the last time. This particular channel will not reach the masses. It has not reached the masses since its inception. Okay. And I wasn't even directly plugged to any of these purse celebrities. I wasn't directly linked to a Candace Owens, a Brandon Tatum, any of those people. A lot of people, exploded into that system at the time. But my channel, I'm not here to give you that right dialectic. I'm not here to give you the left. I'm here to give you, I'm here to tell you, read both sides. And I'm telling you to come with your critical thinking skills is what I'm telling you to do. Realize says, I heard about that 3AI Atlas coming to Earth by, not exactly. I don't want to confuse it with something else. I heard something about the 14th. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the 14th was supposed to be happening there, but yeah, but guys, I think the first of the year they have got these QRFs ready. They've got these National Guards QRF, quick response forces, already trained. Who knows? But I also reported the other day that allegedly the Trump administration is going to withhold some of the support for SNAP benefits for those states who are withholding immigration information. They're not really releasing that data, even though allegedly the courts say that he can't do it, but they're still, they're going for it. So I just say, I'm just something, something they know something, okay? And I think if we just listen a little bit, we can see something's coming. Okay, there's a storm brewing, and it's a perfect storm because like when they gave back, see what they do is they come in and they save the day. Oh, we'll give you your little crumbs back. Oh, the government started up again. It was offline, now it's back online. Oh, you want your SNAP benefits back? Okay, here it is. Okay, you guys can go back to work now. Uh, oh, but by the way, TSA is going to invest millions of dollars, like billions of dollars. I believe Kristi Noem mentioned that they're going to in airport technology. And I said, well, gosh, that's about as much that they haven't talked that much about airport technology since what 9/11. So something's coming. I think something else is that like each time they roll out, they lock you out just a little bit more. And I think when they get it finally installed, there will be no more lockout. There will be no more shutdowns because it'll all be online. AI, you'll all be online with AI. That's probably the correct term. Shutdowns, offlines, because when they get you all online with AI, there won't be any more shutdowns. Okay. All right. Frank Verman is here. Let's see. Realize. Also, did I hear about the 3 days of I did, but I'm not sure. I don't have any context for it. I don't have any. Yay. All right. But I appreciate you guys so much for coming in, and we are coming up on a whopping 57 minutes. Feel free to drop your links in here. Flying Guillotine, aka Old Head Deuce. I appreciate you for coming in so much. And everybody else would go through and say hi one last time and wish you guys a blessed peace and blessings for the rest of your day. Marcy T, of course, love to you. Sister, let me back this up. Frank Verman. Let me back it up. Old Head Deuce, thank you so much for coming in. Flying Guillotine 22. Let's back it up some more. Eric Chanot 3628. I'm so glad that you came in, Eric Chanot. Thank you. Let's see, who else did we have? I could have sworn I had somebody else in here. But it looks like Scott Petrie 7630. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate everyone. Let me make sure I got everybody. Let's see. Ami Tij G. Thank you for coming in from the UK. Hope you're having a lovely day over there. Have been to the UK in about 5 years. Make it 6 years. Who else did we have? We had if you're new to the channel, Latressa Montgomery 7932. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate you guys and just, what you do. Your presence is noted. Helena MR 777. And TMK Media 1136. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap us up. Let's see if there are any more comments on the bottom that I didn't get. I appreciate it. So we're almost down. So we might as well break that 60 mark. We're at 59 minutes right now. Shahul Bati 7444. Yeah, don't forget to love on the like button. If you haven't had a chance to do that, it's greatly appreciated on this channel. All right. I think I got everybody. I don't know who Alien Spider Diddy's. Yikes. Some of these names. Yikes. Okay. Yikes. All right, guys. So Shakulbati 7444. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate the support. You guys, like I said, if you want to throw caution to the wind, share it out, like, share, subscribe, help us hang around here a little bit longer. Yeah, and thank you guys so much. You guys have helped me get to the number that I'm in right now. So whatever it means, if it means reach, I don't know if I care about the partnership with YouTube or any of that. It's just that, I guess in a world of lies, you can't, I guess you can't be anything you want to be after all. Even if you don't know what you want to be. You don't want to be suppressed or oppressed. That's what I didn't want to be. Okay? That's what I do know. We don't want to be suppressed or oppressed. Okay? That's what I don't want to be. If I'm because to me, if I'm harmless, then why don't you let me speak? Let it come out. Don't put me on the dog pile. Let it come out. All right. If I'm not telling the truth, then it won't stand up. Then it won't stand. It won't stand the test of time. It won't. It'll go down. All right, guys. Old Head says maintain your bird eye view. Let's see. Philippians 4:13. I can do everything in Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, I believe that. But I am tested. We are all we have to endure. We have to endure to the end. All right, guys. If I come across anything else today, I will be back. John Roberts is here to love on the like button. Oh, John Roberts says, my words are toxic to the uninformed. Yes, you guys check out John Roberts. Please drop your link, John Roberts. Please don't forget to love on the like button, guys. I appreciate it. Yes, don't forget to love on the like button. Like, share, and subscribe. I need a banner that goes through here, but I haven't gone in studio because I think that this is the format that they're going for. Okay, and I'm going to say that because I think TikTok is more popular in many ways. I think because the shorter form content is what they want to grow, or at least the vertical type, the vertical profiles, the vertical landscape is what they want you on. Okay, so and because I don't think they have any great software out there right now, but they still want to monopolize. So this is why I have not been in the studio. I miss being in the studio sometimes, but it's kind of cumbersome. Because, you're like double fisted cords, buttons, bells, and whistles. It's a lot of work. Eric Note 3628 says, my papa always said the truth will stand when the world is on fire. There you go. Smart man. All right, guys. Thanks so much again for loving on the like button. And if I have anything else, I will come back. In the meantime, I guess everybody should do your best to stay warm. Do your best to stay warm wherever available. All right, guys. All right. I will see you later.